morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, September 3rd. It's September. Oh my God. Rate cuts. We were talking about rate cuts before we went live. What were you saying, Tracker?
The like fun strat was Tom was saying that basically. I said last night in the show, it feels like we're still waiting for like that we didn't really get a big pump. The one we got in mid-July wasn't really enough. That was just like a little teaser. And yeah, it feels like the rate cut that's probably going to come in 2 weeks, all but assured. It seems will send the markets into the third wave pump that I've been really looking for this year. And then Matt was saying he just did a post about the IWM.
Yeah, if you guys check my feed, I posted about the IWM, how when it breaks into all-time highs, the minimum time for a bull market is 1 year. A little bit over a year, actually. And the maximum was in 2003 to like 2008. It was like almost 4 years of a bull market. So essentially, it's going to last a while. And people need to realize that bull markets don't really end when people are depressed. They end when everybody's euphoric. And right now, more people are depressed than they are euphoric.
That's right. It's like it feels like for like a year and a half we've been saying, "Oh, it's just getting started. We haven't even started yet. And it's September 2025, and it still hasn't started yet. But it's just ahead. It's just I can see it. And I talked about the Cambrian evolution. If you guys studied science, biology, the Cambrian was an era when the fossil record has this huge explosion of all these different kinds of organisms and creatures and life forms, trying out all sorts of different form factors and reaching into new biomes and ecological niches. And that's exactly what happens with a bull small cap market. You get all these tiny little players blooming and with promise of new technology systems, ways of doing things, ways of doing business, new products. That it's a big positive feedback loop, and so that's what we're looking for.
Yep.
Anyway, back to today, where and yesterday was the first trading day of the month. And we always talk about now how the market makers can do all sorts of crazy extreme things. And I didn't see that much of a sell-off yesterday as I was expecting.
Yeah, a good recovery, and it was basically that Google buy order before all that news came out was kind of interesting. Somebody knew something out there.
Yeah.
There's like just a massive amount of buying right before that news came out. So people knew something, and that always happens. But no insider trading there, guys. Everything's fine.
There's never insider trading. Yeah. All right, Matt, go ahead and take us out with take us in with the.
Take us into the indices. We'll look over day-over-day development. This is the daily chart. We'll put on the Ichimoku, the SMAs, just to see what really happened. And so we did get rejected. We did almost touch the baseline for the SPY. Not quite, and it bounced, and now we're gapping up again above the conversion line. So this could be a very muted little correction, right? It just is another higher low. Basically, that's another higher low from back in August 20th, and we're back in the same range as before, between the 648.98 and that 634. And I've been talking about 634 for a very long time on X, basically right back when it broke above back in early August. I talked about how the importance of 634. I made a couple posts about it, and that's exactly where it went to yesterday, and it bounced, right? So this is kind of proving to me that 634 is a really important number, and as long as it maintains, the bull market is super strong and healthy and good. So QQQ.
Is that an Ichimoku baseline that I see the wick touched yesterday?
Yeah, pretty close to it. Yeah. And QQQ, it did go back down to the 50-day moving average for the first time, mind you, since it broke above back in April. So that was a healthy back test because it hasn't touched it since. It's been clear of this green line ever since yesterday. So we got that touch. We're actually gapping up, maybe even back above the conversion and the baseline on the daily chart. So that could lead the way back to the 578 again. But we're still range bound. We don't have a breakout above resistance yet, so there's no point in being super euphoric and excited yet until we get a breakout above the 578. So I think we can just be stuck between the cloud and that 578 for some time until price wants to go higher. and break above. And IWM, it did reclaim this log scale, 233.20, and that's what I've been paying attention to a lot, because since it really broke out, it's been spending the majority of the time on top of this 233.20. So I think if we're going to look at anything for the IWM, it's going to be that number, stay above it. It's going to be more bullish, right? It's going to eventually break into all-time highs. And like I just made a post about it, once we go into all-time high territory, a bear market doesn't start until a minimum of a year later, but typically a lot longer. So this is proof to me that this bull market has staying power. Things can actually stay very, very exciting for maybe even beyond 2026. We'll find out. So I'm very optimistic. I don't think we're going to have any kind of a bubble burst at the moment, because IWM is telling a story. And it's telling a story. It's not ready to break out yet, but once it does, it could be very exciting. All right, let's go to Tesla now. And Tesla, what do we see with this one? That there's no change, really. Yes, it is up a little bit pre-market, but still, until it really breaks above this 348, 353 zone, it's going to be stuck. And we'll look at the weekly chart development. It's getting really close to being in this wedge. I mean, is it really going to wait until like February of 2026 right here to go? I mean, I hope not. I think it has a really good chance of breaking above sooner. And the reason why is because of the weekly Ichimoku cloud. Right? If you just give it a few more weeks in general, it's going to be able to clear the cloud just by going horizontally, sideways. And once it's above the cloud, it'll have a little bit less resistance and could break the upper levels easier. So Tesla looks almost ready to me. Really, really, really close to breaking out maybe in the weeks to come. And once we're above 353, then it's going to be back to 414 and then all-time highs after that. So it's a good start, good development, but not ready to break out just yet. Bitcoin, it's back above my bottom arc, so that's my rule of thumb, right? Stay above this arc and hold it as support, then there's no need to go back down to 105. But if it spends more time below it again, then 105 would be that destination. So it's always about following the momentum, and right now it's holding. Previous resistance, breakout back test, flip to support. So that's really around 109,500, 109,600, that zone. Stay above it. It's going to be more bullish. All right, Tracker, back to you.
Well, I'm just going to go right into the requests here. This is a VRTX. I don't think I've done this one before, or maybe I looked at it a long time ago. But these are monthly candlesticks, and so since 1992, it's just been in an uptrend. So it doesn't seem like you can go wrong with this. I don't see it doing this again like it did from 2000 2006. I'm basically going to call this the 100% top to the bottom, and it went down to about the 298, got up to the 786, back tested the halfway point. Then right here is where it said, okay, that 50% level is support, and it just started an uptrend ever since then. And you can see it's in a very clear uptrend channel. I want to just do it from maybe here through here and then pull it. Let's pull it back. No. We'll stay up here. So yeah, it's just been in this uptrend. It doesn't seem like, Okay, so what I was going to try to do is do something really, really short term. And I pulled a little shorter term. Elliott wave. Here, I'm going to call this the wave start. Wave 1, wave 2. So it looks like it's heading up into the thousands. I mean, you could just easily see how it could go from where it's 400 now to being 800 in the next couple of years. So anyway, let's see from here. I mean, I just basically have to start a new wave 3 right here. Let's try 764, 382, 1382. I don't have the right ones. 2382. Change you to this one. Extend. Yeah, 1382, 100, 2302. I got a little crazy with 2382. Yeah, so like the wave 3 would take it to 837. So price improvement wise from where that is now to there. It's like, it like doubles over the next year and a half, maybe. So I don't see anything. I don't see this breaking down anytime soon. As far as the weekly chart goes, can you? Hold on, no, don't do that. Yeah, I can see where it got scary here recently, but if you look at the history, it's still in this logarithmic trend channel. The red bar is sort of like the last bastion of scariness that it usually hits before it recovers. So I don't expect this time to be different. I would only be wrong if it made a new lower low than 362.50, which it's pretty far away from doing right now. The Ichimoku weekly, it seems to want to at least get back to touch the conversion line if it wants to do a rejection up at 424.25. And Ichimoku Cloud says it could easily get right back up to the to retest the cloud and my moving average 75 up here in the 450s, 440s, 450s. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yes, let's take a look here at ServiceNow.
Yeah, ServiceNow.
ServiceNow.
Another bullish company, long-term bullish.
So here's what it's doing on the weekly chart. We can see that it's backtesting the 1.272 log-based fib after reaching the 1.618. So it was a pretty big rejection up there. So that Fibonacci is from the 2021. So would that be a full extension for this cycle? I mean, if it can't really get back above the cloud and the 1.414, then perhaps, right? But this green gown level and that was a pretty powerful resistance. So we got to really, pay attention to the 865.79. If it can stay above that 1.272, then it has a chance to keep breaking resistance. But right now it's getting rejected by the cloud on the weekly chart, the 919.73 and also the 961.97. So it's basically range bound between these two fibs. And nothing's really going to change that until either level breaks. So that's going to be the thing to watch. 961, 865, see which one can break first, and then it'll go from there. We can also look at the monthly chart too and show that it's back below the conversion line for like a couple months in a row. The last time it was below that conversion line, it quickly recovered it back in April and May. But this time, if it does ever lose that baseline, which is in confluence of that 1.272, that could lead to a longer term correction down on this territory, getting closer to the monthly cloud before going higher. So I think no matter what, it's in consolidation phase right now. And the 865 is very crucial. So we got to watch that, stay above it to be more bullish. Otherwise, it could take a long time for it to try to break out again. That is my view on it. Let's look at IPA.
I love that fancy little arrow spin you did.
It does its own dance. Yeah. I'll do IPA, Immunoprecise Antibodies. Thought it was a beer for a second.
I know, right? India Pale Ale.
Yeah. We'll just do a fib right here, and we'll take a look at this. Let's move to the right side. We can see that it cleared the the 1.72, the 382 fib, and it got rejected at the 50% fib at 3.04. But the good takeaway is this is a pretty big high time frame trend reversal in the making, because it's back above the baseline for the first time since ever, really, back in 2020 for a long time, right? And it hasn't really been above that baseline for a very long time, and because of that, it has potential to actually find some stability on top of that 172 zone and try to get more bullish. But we're going to run into some cloud resistance up here as well, along with that 50%. So I think we might just find some range boundness in this chart between $3 and 172 until it's really ready to break free into the cloud. But I think that's all that matters, really. Stay above that 172, and this chart can be more bullish because it's a very important level, right? Look in the past. Very important support. So if it stays above, it's probably going higher in the long run. All right, tracker.
I was going to try to do this Silex Systems. Like update. It's like update. I don't think, have I ever done it? Here, look, we can do a quick same sort of thing. These are monthly candlesticks from the top to the bottom down here. It's it is riding. It's the Ichimoku cloud's up, and this monthly moving average 75 as support. It seems like it does want to get back and retest this 50% level at 26.78 here before too long, which would be double where the price is right now. Let's see if I can get in real close. I'll just pull a quick linear scale fib. I'm going to do it just off this bottom down here. I mean, I could do like a big one, but I want to just do a small one to give you like a shorter time frame kind of thing. So wave 1, wave 2, yeah. It looks like it could. The wave 5 could take it through the 50% level. So it's going to fall short of testing it the first in wave 3, meaning from here, let's just do 764, 382, 1382, 100%, 2382. And so you can see it, it approaches, it gets over the 382, its lifetime 382 retracement in the third wave. Back tests a little bit. And then in that fifth wave up is where it crosses through here. Just to give you an idea of what the time could be like, let's try this. So yeah, it could take a long time for it to retest this halfway point. Like this is 2030. Unless it does something where it just dramatically cuts up and through. The current trend is pretty slow in recovery. So that's all I've got to say about that. I guess just to get back to, let's see, from where price is right now to the midpoint is like a 35% improvement to go to the 76.4% fib extension off this bottom here. Let's see, I'll do another one and then I'll give it back to Matt. BBBY. Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond. Are they still in business? I thought they were bankrupt. I thought they closed down all the stores, and I mean,
maybe they just did some restructuring of debt.
Restructuring of debt. Unless they become an Ethereum treasury. I just don't know what to tell you about this.
Yeah.
I'm doing it from the wrong direction. From the height of the, I guess just into the pandemic here. Why did it go up in the pandemic? It's crazy. I guess they thought they'd have to shop online for all their Bed Bath and Beyond needs. Yeah, it's just skating. It's skating disaster. I don't know. I mean, I'm not bullish on this by any means.
I have an interesting GAN on it after you're done.
Okay, great. I'm going to do just a quick little weekly. If it was in a bullish trend right now, from the bottom, we'll call this wave 1, and this is the wave 2, bottom right there. Then let's just do a 236. Change this to my little 236. So like at that minimum, and then I need to extend that right there. So like if it starts to catch up. Oh, I lost my feed there. Is that me? Did I do that?
Yeah, you probably did that, but I got you back.
Okay, thanks. Let's see. To the 382 to the 236. And then if it can do this, then like other markets like, oh no, wait, maybe it is something worth buying into. So yeah, and then that makes sense too here. Once you get over this 114, then everything looks like, oh, maybe it will recover. And then if it can hold the 764 at $14, then it does get up closer to this my 214 up here, but not really. It's enough to make it look exciting, but it's not going to change the lifetime direction of this chart by any means. There you go. You can take a screenshot of that if you want. If bullish, if it doesn't get any lower than $7.81, then the rest of this could come true. I don't know. Get back to me. I'll put a marker right here. But do ask me again if we get a higher high than 1092 for some reason. All right, and back to you, Matt.
Yes. So here's my BBBBY. Maybe the beyond part is ETH Treasury, right?
It would have to be. I would think at this point.
The bed, Beth, on and crypto. All right. So here's my interesting GAN that I had from the 2020 bottom. But yeah, it's basically been through to each level very, very precisely. And the green level was the top, then the blue level flipped to resistance, and then the orange level flipped to resistance. And we're there right now, right? We zoom in and we're trying to break above it right now. So if it can ever flip it back to support, then I think it could actually start a new bull market and continue higher. And we can see that that orange level right here is around $9, maybe 904, 905, 906, whatever. And also this green angle is the 45-degree angle. Then you have the arcs in here. Then you have the cloud. So I think it's not going to be immediate. And I think if it does want to break out, it's probably going to take a while, right? It's going to be like just in the cloud here doing something like this until it wants to break out, right? And that'll be that, right? So I think it has a chance. It has a chance. And especially if it stays above that baseline, it has even a better chance. And we can watch that baseline around 761. Essentially stay above that, stay inside the cloud, give it some space and time, and there is a chance to break free. And if it does break free, there's lots of opportunity for the 20s and 30s above. So we'll find out, but it's not looking like it's dead anymore. That's for sure. It's basically going in the right direction. So we'll keep watching that $9 zone.
I'm calling their new strategy should be they should just drop the bed and bath part and just be called themselves Don and become an Ethereum treasury.
Then what happens to their ticker? They would just be BY, beyond BY.
I guess it's like B with a stutter. Beyond.
All right, let's do HIMS here. We can take a look at HIMS, and HIMS is dropping a little bit below the weekly Ichimoku cloud, but pre-market is back inside. So we'll see, right? That's the goal, to really stay inside the cloud the whole time. Going below it, going back to those 1.618 is also acceptable, 39.42, because it's a very volatile stock. And since it never really touched it back here in June, it could touch it first before reversing. But staying inside the cloud would be optimal, which it's currently doing. So we're going to keep watching that zone, $42, right? 42.15, that zone. Stay above it. It can be more bullish. We can look at QS as well. And QS, what do I see with this one? It's just stuck and with the potential to maybe go back down towards the cloud first before any kind of reversal. What I'm really looking at right here is the potential to just stay boring for a while, right? Just stay in this zone for a long time until it's ready to go higher. So it's a huge breakout. Now we're getting a big back test, and that back test could go down to touch the cloud or even a little bit lower. So I'm watching 680 down towards the 640s, or maybe even touch these moving averages down there as well. But I don't think we're anywhere near a high time frame support right now. So what that really means to me is maybe lower. If you do want to consider a high time frame support, we can do this high to this low, and we can see that even that 50% fib is around $7. So we'll just keep our eyes on that. And if it can hold that 715, then perhaps it doesn't need to go lower. But I think no matter which fib or which indicator I use, there really is no support in this current price range. So we're just going to keep our eye on this target. And I think lower first before higher. Trekker.
All right, I've got EOSE here. I'm just doing a new fib thing for it, and I realize now I want this other one. Let's do the 764, but extend. All right, so I call this a type B chart because EOSE on the log scale is above its center pivot. And once you can get over this upper pivot, then I'll call it an A-type chart. And then once it gets over its 100% level, then I call it a type S chart, where it's just, it's proven this whole retracement zone, and after that, it's just extensions of its original 100% move. So anyway, type B still under the upper pivot here. I'm sorry, above the center pivot. And I was doing let's see, a 76432. I'm just going to give it the benefit of these are weekly candlesticks, that it's going to keep climbing. It's at the 618 now. But I don't feel like it, with the way the market's going to go, I don't think it's going to stop at the 618. So let's look for, 786 is going to be the next, either it is resistance or it isn't. But $8.85 should be where it would go to. Test back to the 382 at $6.27. Then to the 1382. 100 gives us this nice little gap between the wave 371 top and the wave 4 bottom. And then the 232 at 1977. And that gets us to just fall shy of testing its 8.886 here, which is the last bastion before it becomes a Type S stock. The last set of big resistance. So yeah, EOSC, very bullish on it. It's let's see, let's do a quick channel on this as well. I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, it's hard. Let's do a tight channel just from here to here. Ooh, that looks crazy. That might be too good. You know what? I'm not gonna try to do a channel right on this now because this one just looks so zoopy zoop. No, wait, I can see it. I'm just gonna borrow from here. No, gosh darn it, wrong tool. From here to here. And then I just would need to pull this down. Kids, don't do this at home. It's kind of goofy. But yeah, so it looks like it's in this channel right here. It's pretty tightly right in this channel right here. But it wants to, I don't know, maybe we need to pull this out. I don't know. If it stays in this channel, if this is like the limit of it right now, then it's like 2020, mid 2027, when it reaches wave 5 at 1977. All right. I'll do, BMNR. I was excited to do BMNR. So speaking of Ethereum treasury strategies, here's BitMine. Why does, okay, there's my stuff. Again, we just did this last night on the show. It's like we're all ignoring this crazy wick down that seems to be in the record here. And I'm going to go from, I'm ignoring all this other history before it declared itself an Ethereum treasury, from $880 as the high to $1.93 as the low. It is above the halfway point, right? It got up to the 702, then oscillated around it. It's still oscillating around it. And I think it's going to do something like this, where it just kind of tries to skip its way up through the fibs. And right here is a, actually that would be 382. We didn't quite get the 382 to 11.4, 764 to 382. Yeah. I don't know, something like this. And the channel looks something like, yeah, I think like this. So just kind of have to ignore a little bit of that. Yeah, this is the direction I'm feeling it's going. So if it just stays along this gray path, right, as the oscillation of the center, which over it and under it and over and under it, then, maybe it reaches the 786 as an average by February of next year, 2026. But it could pull one of these big leaps again if Ethereum starts to do something crazy. That's all I got to say about it right now. It's still, it's between the moving average 300 right here on the weekly chart and the Ichimoku baseline, because of all this this big candle wick here, candlestick. It's between the two, and the conversion line's up there as well. So, it could be trending in this range higher and higher from here. All right, back to you, Matt. Candlesticks. It's still underneath the Ichimoku baseline and conversion line, but it feels like it wants to go back up towards this cloud here, just as I've got it kind of drawn through the thinnest part of the cloud. All right, what say you, Matt?
Let's take a look at ONDS, and here we go. Oh, and then I see XRP, of course. Yeah,
I want to hear about XRP.
ONDS, so here we are. We broke above the 702 on a weekly basis, so that's bullish, right? Doing that last week. But now it's possibly in a new range here between the 496 and the 690. So we're going to just see how price reacts in this new zone. And it did get a little bit volatile yesterday, but that's because it had a super huge, massive 30% weekly candle. So any kind of a back test of 496 is possible and healthy. So we're going to be watching that for a potential to back test at some point. And I don't think it's going to be ready to break this 690 for a while. So it could just stay in this zone for some time until ready to go towards the 886 above, which is at 1022. So it's a good development, but
I sold vertical calls above that 786 yesterday.
Noise.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, we'll do XRP next, and XRP, and this will be my last one, and then I'll have you finish off the show tracker. But essentially, there is no change for XRP. We did get below the conversion line last week, so I mean, I guess that is the change for the last weekly candle close. Conversion line baseline stuck in a little tighter range now between like the 297 and the 264. Also, the monthly conversion line is right there at 264 as well. So this is our zone of support, right? Our high time frame support. So if it did want to go back down there and retest it, it's fine, right? It's been riding the conversion line for basically ever since November, almost a year, right? Just a big breakout, riding it as support. This is a very bullish development before it's ready to continue that journey higher. But can't really get more exciting until this conversion line and this 310 get broken. So more range bound until it's ready to break out. So is this a sad looking chart? No, it's a very healthy chart. It's still one of the best looking charts in all of crypto. It's just already had a massive breakout, so it's spending more time consolidating before the next leg higher. So tracker, take us out.
All right. I am taking Rumble Belly's advice, and I'm keeping it with my antidepressants. As everyone else exploits the bull market. I've got ASTS Space Mobile here, and I think I showed this chart here before. My wave 1 and 2 are very short, so I'm expecting the wave 4 to be a lot longer. That's the Elliott wave theory of alternation. Yeah, so it could be kind of stuck around here for a while. Eventually it's going to turn up a lot higher though. My wave 5 projection from where price is now to $100.48 is that's 100% improvement, but it could still reach down into this cloud a little bit. Like we're in the middle of this 16-hour cloud. Let's see the week. Well, it's above the weekly cloud pretty well though, but it's stuck between the weekly Ichimoku conversion line in blue and the baseline in brown. It didn't touch the baseline yet. I mean, it could bounce between the two of them once or twice before getting back on top of it. So that could take a while. Yeah, that's all I've got to say about that right now. 903. We'll do Wolf here. We'll venture Wolf mining. If I don't have it already done here, let me look at my other. I know I've done it in the past. Let me just do it. All right, here's my old TeraWulf chart. Wow, it did a lot more than I was looking for the wave 1. I was looking for 618. It went to the 100%. So let's say, get rid of this. Let's say 100% to the 618. Gosh, if it even does that. Let's try 764. Look for it to touch 864. Oh man, you know what? I don't even want to do it this way. I'm gonna go back to this first real quick. I do have from the all-time low, the all-time high. Yeah, let's just do this real quick. From no, this one. From you to you and you. Looks like it is put this on the left side. Dopplering into between the 786 and the 886. So from yeah, see, it's at the 100%. Oh, let's try 764, 200%, 1382. This is not a usual pattern. This is an unusual pattern. In fact, wait, maybe I can make it work if I just bring this up to a different one. Nope. I'd have to go lower. All right, sorry about this, Matt. One say, oh, let me just do a quick channel right through here. I don't know. It's definitely it's in the upper green part. So do be careful. It could do a big pullback actually. Let's try 764. Not a big pullback, but pullback anyway. 100. No, it can't do 100. And then 2618. Well, maybe it's going to stay in this green zone for a little while. So yeah, do look for a pullback to 876. It could sorely use one. If 876 fails, then 748. But then after that, it wants to go up to 1708 for the upper pivot for all of wave 3. That's about as far as I'll project with this for now. So from where price is now down to this 764 is like down 9%. But then if you just hold it to this upper pivot at 1708, that's a 77% improvement in TeraWulf. All right. Well, that was it. Happy Wednesday, everybody. The pre-market looked pretty green across the board. Yeah, I'm looking for things to be greener today than yesterday. Stop that. And we're back tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.